Hi, it's Dawn Isenhower with Sibcy Cline Realtors here to answer the question, why isn't selling a house like selling a car? A lot of people feel this way. They wonder. They think that the experience should be very similar. Um, First of all, anything is only worth what a buyer's willing to pay for it at the end of the day. Doesn't matter what that thing is. If it's real property, if it's personal property, that's always going to be true. But a car is a depreciable asset. As soon as you drive it off the lot, you know what happens. It's not worth what you just paid for it a few minutes ago. Once you drive it off the lot, it will depreciate and it will continue to do so until finally it's not worth anything at the end of the day. A house, on the other hand, though, is an investment. Real property is an investment that where the value should go up over time. It should show appreciation. There will be times when the market kind of pulls back a little bit, or in the case of 2008, it crashes completely. But then when we recover, the property tends to gain value and appreciate over time. The value of that real property is dependent on past sales, though. You can't just establish a price as a seller and expect people to come and pay whatever it is you're asking. And you may be able to get by with that with other items of personal property and with automobiles, but you can't get by with that with a house. Most people are financing. There are a lot of people who do pay cash in real estate transactions, but they too don't want to grossly overpay. The buying public is very smart now. So they will even request an appraisal, the right for one in a real estate contract. But if you're financing, what you pay is dependent on what that appraiser says. So when we don't appraise, either the seller usually comes down to the appraised value, the buyer comes up, or the two meet in the middle. But people are very limited when it comes to financing. And that's why in our market now, the appraisal gap coverage is so important, so that buyer makes the commitment when at the time the offer is written to at least make up a portion of that appraisal gap if the property fails to appraise. So not quite the same experience. It's always going to be true that nothing is worth anything unless someone sees the worth and is willing to pay for it. But two very different experiences there. You can't just name your price 99.9% of the time and expect to get it. Investments are driven by markets. They're not driven by what you desire to get out of the property necessarily. Sometimes you luck out and you do get that because someone has to have that house and they'll pay whatever you're asking and they'll pay in cash. But most of the time that's just not going to be true. And you will be limited to what the market can bear for the price of the house. If you have questions about this or anything else, feel free to call me at 513-236-1254 or private message me. Thanks so much. Have a good one.